The American Civil War. Back in 1864, the rule for reference for second-stage elections applies to the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, who won a landslide election in the American Civil War between the Union and the Separates. It occurred between 1861 and 1865 after declaring 11 southern states inhabited by slaves, secessions from the United States, and the formation of a government known as the Confederate Government, with the rest of the states are now referred to as the Federation, to ignite a war that lasted nearly 4 years, and it ended with the unification of the states under one government as before. Elections under the canons. When the Civil War began in 1861, Abraham Lincoln was the President of the United States. In 1864, Lincoln was preparing for new presidential elections. He wants to run for a second term, but the war was an impediment to him, with no signs of a solution looming on the horizon. In an era when women and blacks were forbidden to vote, Lincoln agreed with his advisors that the chances of his election appear very slim in the light of the war, but his chances will be zero if the elections are postponed. Lincoln took steps, including the Republican Party he heads with some Democrats, to form the National Union, who supported Lincoln's candidate in the presidential election. Lincoln also abandoned his Republican vice and chose to contest the election with a new Democrat who was in favor of slavery. Lincoln's attempt to balance the list, however, the conditions for signing a truce with the separates within the Lincoln program. It included joining the South to the North again and abolishing slavery altogether. Meanwhile, the divided Democratic Party nominated George McClellan, a popular general who served in the Union Army, but his electoral platform contained nothing about abolishing slavery, and his only condition for the armistice was the Confederate States joining the Union again. Racism of opponents. The persistence of slavery was not a priority for McClellan and the Democrats, who tried to win the support of white voters over a campaign against Lincoln, which was considered the most racist in the history of the United States of America. A Democratic cartoonist exploited white Americans' fears about mixing races and blacks. He painted a fictional portrait of a party showcasing the mixing of races at the headquarters of the Lincoln presidential campaign. Also, one of the Democrats' publications named Lincoln as Abraham Africanus I. The racist circular included that the first commandment of the Republicans was, "You have no other gods but the Negro," in a provision of one of the 10 commandments. Soldiers' vote. For the elections to be held in 1864, the Union needed a way for the soldiers who were fighting. Most of the northern states passed new laws allowing soldiers to vote in absentia from their camps. And with Democratic-controlled states trying to prevent soldiers from elections in army camps, Lincoln pushed the War Department to order commanders to allow soldiers to go home for a week in order to be able to vote in elections. Lincoln wins. In November 1864, Lincoln won an overwhelming majority with 54% of the civilian vote, 78% of the military. He won 212 electoral votes in 22 states, while McClellan won only 21 votes in 3 states. Lincoln's victory meant the continuation of the war to reunite the country and abolish slavery. This happened after the successive military victories over the 11 separate states. The spring of 1865 saw the proclamation of the United States and the emancipation of slaves. In your opinion, did Lincoln use slaves to win the elections, or was it a fair campaign? If you like this video, please give us a like and share and subscribe our channel to support us to get more videos.